Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another weather forecast here by Adrian Weather Forecast. As you guys can tell, this is going to be my May forecast here, 2020. So I hope you guys do enjoy this. This is not going to be 100% accurate again, but this is what I think May is going to be looking like. So hope you guys enjoy. We're going to be looking at the temperature outlook, the precipitation outlook, and the general forecast here for May. But again, if you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Thank you guys so much for all the support in the past couple of days. Let's try to get to 2,230 subscribers by the end of today. I think we can do that. So please share the channel. If you want more monthly forecasts, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I'll be doing this again every month. Also, be sure to share the channel so we can grow a lot more. And also, if you know anybody that wants to know what May is going to look like, be sure to share the video to them. But without further ado, let's get in this video. So here we are looking at the precipitation outlook here. So let's go ahead and start off the above average precipitation here. So much of the eastern United States and parts of the central United States will be seeing really above average precipitation. We're going to be seeing a lot of severe weather in these areas, and we're going to be seeing just a ton of rain. With incoming cold front and a lot of moisture, we're just going to be seeing a ton of pop-up severe weather and potentially severe weather outbreaks in these areas. But starting off in the first shade of green, that kind of lime green, that's slightly below average, or that's slightly above average precipitation. So you're not going to be seeing really a whole lot more rain or a whole lot more precipitation really necessarily. You're going to be seeing above average, but it's not necessarily going to be, you're not going to really notice that, but we're obviously going to be seeing a lot more or a lot of rain in the eastern United States, a lot more than usual. But you won't really see, for example, you won't maybe see 30 inches above average. Like, it won't be a huge difference compared to usually. That's why it's slightly above average. And this, the darker shade of green there, we have moderately above average precipitation. There's when you possibly will feel or notice a lot more precipitation. So we're going to be starting off in the areas in the Ohio Valley and parts of the Appalachians. There is where we have a area of moderately above average precipitation. That's where we're going to be seeing a lot more pop-up severe weather and a lot of really heavy rain moving these areas. Also, in that other area, the above average, moderately, we're going to be seeing severe weather outbreaks possibly throughout much of May developing in these areas, and that severe weather would possibly turn into heavier rain into the Ohio Valley. In that other area, where we have the darker shade of green. So this all adds up there. For Wisconsin, much of the Midwest, and parts continuing to the South Central, we're still going to be seeing a lot more severe weather and also a lot of heavy rain in general. So that's where we're going to be seeing moderately above average precipitation. Now for the below average precipitation. So much of the west now this time we'll be seeing not just the southwest but the general west will be seeing slightly or below average precipitation. So in that first shade of that kind of light brown, that's why we have that's where we have slightly below average precipitation. So same thing with the above average. You won't really necessarily feel the difference or really notice it. You're just going to be seeing slightly below average compared or slightly below average precipitation according to your average, so maybe 5 inches less than usual. So really not going to be a huge necessarily big difference there, but still going to be seeing slightly below average precipitation. And then also in the other area, that darker shade of below average there, that's going to be for parts of the Four Corner states and even to Nevada and California. That's where you're going to maybe feel the difference of below average precipitation, possibly seeing a lot less precipitation and a lot more of warmer air. So definitely not going to be a fun May for those areas in the western United States. Now it's time to look at my precipitation map here. So this is what we're looking at here for temperatures throughout May. So it's looking a lot different compared to really what April is looking like. So we're going to be starting off the below average temperatures. So in that light blue color there, that's where we'll be seeing slightly below average temperatures. So that's going to be throughout areas into the Midwest and all the way up into parts of the Ohio Valley, Tennessee Valley, and even to the southeast. So we're going to be seeing some little cold fronts moving all the way to the Georgia areas and the Carolinas, but you're still going to be seeing also a good amount of warm fronts as well. So it's going to be like a 50-50 in those areas. So in that light blue, if you are there, you're going to be seeing slightly below average temperatures. In that darker shade of blue there, we have moderately below average temperatures. So in those areas, we possibly see a lot more frequent cold fronts and a lot longer lasting. So that's going to obviously make the average of the whole month in general a lot cooler. We're not going to be seeing too many warm fronts in these areas. Obviously, we're going to be seeing multiple warm fronts throughout the eastern United States because we're going to continue to see a pattern change that it's not just going to stay there the whole month, but we're going to be seeing a lot less and a lot less frequent. Now into the above average. So this is going to be it's going to be more of a kind of more of a warmer May, like just on general, because we're going to be seeing a lot more states that are going to be above average. So or are going to be seeing kind of 50-50. Really, it could be cold and also warm, just depending where you are, of course. But it's in the light orange. That is where we have slightly above average temperatures. So that's going to be all the way up into the Pacific Northwest, down into the Southeast. So it's going to be coast to coast there. Really won't be seeing a necessarily huge difference. Really, it's going to be maybe 3 to 5 degrees above average. We're obviously going to be seeing a bigger cold or bigger warm front in these areas. That could obviously bring maybe 20 degrees of above average for maybe 1 or 2 days, but it won't be like that the whole month. Just in general, going to be slightly above average. Now into the darker shade of green there, and then moderately, that second shade of orange there, we have moderately above average. So that's when you possibly may see maybe up to 5 to 8 degrees above average throughout the month, and maybe even bigger warm fronts that can bring it even warmer. That's going to be from much of the west into the south central there for Texas, Louisiana, even parts of southern Miami. Going to be very warm. Those parts of the state they're going to be very humid as well. Going to not necessarily see any really cold air necessarily moving throughout Florida much, or the southern Florida, and then into the red color, that third shade on the above average. That's going to be seeing well above average temperatures. So that's going to be very, very warm. We're going to possibly see maybe up to 10 plus degrees above average throughout much of the month. And like we're seeing right now, we can be seeing warm fronts throughout much of early May that can bring up to 20 plus degrees above average. So going to definitely be very, very warm throughout the southwest, and also, like we saw, very dry. So if you guys like cool air and above average precipitation or a decent amount of precipitation and you live in the west, you're not going to really like this May whatsoever. But of course, doesn't mean we're not going to have little cold fronts moving in, but definitely going to be a lot less frequent this month for the west to see cold fronts. And even if we do have any slipping out or slipping in, it'll last very, very little time. Maybe within 48 hours, 72 hours, and then it'll possibly move out to the east and last a lot longer. So this is just going to be the pattern change throughout this year. Now for the general forecast for May, this is it. So as you can tell, there's a lot of colors and a lot of detail here. So here, and let's go ahead and start off with the yellow. So in the yellow, we're going to be seeing many thunderstorms, and these aren't going to be really necessarily severe weather outbreaks. We can be seeing maybe 1 or 2 severe weather outbreaks in these areas. It's not going to be unlikely, but we're going to be seeing mainly pop-up severe thunderstorms. So possibly pop-up squall lines throughout the day. So as we get warmer and a lot more, it's going to be a lot more humid in these areas. And we're going to be seeing multiple pop-up storms as we get closer into summer. It's going to be that normal thing. We're going to be seeing rain maybe 5 minutes, and then the next minute there's no rain. And that kind of greenish color, that light green, we have very wet. So like I said earlier, we're going to be seeing a lot of precipitation in those areas in the parts of the Ohio Valley and the Appalachians. We're going to be seeing these many pop-up severe weather storms and even severe weather outbreaks that move eastward. It's going to be kind of turning into more like just heavy rain in general and flash flooding threats throughout, not necessarily tornadoes in these areas. So in general, throughout May, it's going to be very wet throughout those areas. In the Northeast and New England area, in that dark blue color, we have colder. So it's going to be obviously a lot colder in May. Going to maybe see hanging on to those early spring temperatures. I would not doubt if you see any low temperatures, overnight temperatures that are maybe some winter light temps. And that's going to be seen throughout the Northeast, of course. You're still going to be seeing maybe a couple of warm fronts moving in those areas, of course, but it won't be as frequent. Now in the light blue color, or the lighter blue shade, that's going to be cooler. So it's going to be a bit of a cooler. Obviously, we have some of those areas in the Great Lakes that had that also moderately below average. But we're going to be seeing more of those cold fronts. The worst of it's going to be in the Northeast, but that's why we have colder there. But we're going to have the cooler side of this throughout the Great Lakes. And that cold air and these cold fronts is going to cause that severe weather in that red. That's going to be a severe weather. There's going to be multiple severe weather outbreaks here in the Midwest and the North Central and the parts of the Central Plains. That's going to be from all of the humidity and warm air to the south, and also the instability and then the incoming cold fronts. That's going to bring in a lot of severe weather from Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, Illinois, Missouri, even parts of the Dakotas. So we're definitely looking like we can be seeing a very active severe weather month here coming in May, because just by looking at what we're seeing already, these incoming cold fronts, and we're already seeing that warmer in the southeast and all that, it's perfect for severe weather outbreaks throughout Midwest. Now, in May is, I think, the most active severe weather month, the most active month for severe weather for the Midwest, I believe. And that gray color, we have average. So really, we're not seeing much of a change there. Most of those areas in the gray and the average aren't seeing above average precipitation or below average precipitation, or any really differences within temperatures based on averages. So of course, we can be seeing cold fronts and warm fronts in these areas, but really just on the average of the month, it's going to be mostly just in general the same what we usually see on average for May. Now in the orange color, it's going to be seeing warmer temperatures. So that's going to be throughout the South Central, New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Colorado, even that southern and central part of Florida. We're going to be seeing warmer temperatures throughout much of May. And now in the brown color, we have way drier. So it's not going to be just drier. It's going to be a lot drier than usual. That's going to be for Utah, Wyoming, Colorado, and New Mexico, even the Four Corners state border there. We're going to be seeing very dry conditions. Not going to be seeing much precipitation in these areas. If we see any precipitation, it might be in those areas in the Pacific Northwest, where we start to see that severe weather ramping up. But it's going to be very dry in those areas. Doesn't mean you're not going to get precipitation. Obviously, that'll be a drought condition there, or drought threat, but I don't necessarily think we'll be seeing a drought threat. But with these dry conditions, it looks like we're going to be seeing a lot of red flag warnings throughout these areas. In that kind of pinkish kind of color there, we have very hot and dry. It doesn't mean very dry as well. It just means very hot, and then also in general just dry. That's going to be throughout those areas into the southwest, so it is not good to be in these colors there. It's going to be awfully warm, and not just warm, but possibly record-breaking temperatures and historic heat. We're racing, of course, you saw triple digits in these areas, and now those triple digits are moving into the Texas area, and we're already in May, so here's it at the warmer temperatures. And now for much of the Pacific Northwest, in that kind of yellowish color there, we have a bit drier and warmer. So it's not going to be seeing like a huge drought or huge historic heat or record-breaking heat, or we can possibly maybe break a little bit of records, but not by much. So it's not going to be like breaking records by 10 degrees like in the Southwest. Plus, the averages in the Pacific Northwest are obviously a lot cooler, so it's not going to be deadly heat. And it's not going to be like historically warm or hot like the Southwest. So it's not going to be huge difference. Just going to be seeing a little bit warmer and a little bit drier. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm going to have 2 more videos out later today. So bye guys.